I've finally realized I've always had a dream, and I'm finally meeting people that surprisingly have the same dream in different pieces. So I want to try and share that and connect to people that have this kind of dream. Um, I think of like villages or preserves or sanctuaries, nodes set up throughout the world in different places on sovereign or ancestral lands, on places that have had natural disasters. Like right now, I can easily think of like the Amazon and all the fires there, and older places like Chernobyl, places where old massacres took place, like Wounded Knee, prison camps, like where my family was. My family was in Colorado, in places where there used to be other prison camps or even current ones, where former military bases or current military bases are throughout the world. I would like the old ones to be turned over for this purpose and the current ones to possibly be turned over for this purpose to try and actually heal the world. Like, why not? And these villages or refuges or sanctuaries would be like artist collectives. And it would be to share and explore and learn from each other all the various ways that artistic expression can be used to heal. So, learning to heal ourselves by expressing ourselves creatively, learning to help each other heal by sharing our expressions, helping animals heal, healing our relationship to animals, healing our relationship to plants and what we've done to them, our relationship to the land, to the energy around us, the concept of changing your frequency or your vibration, actually finding a resonant harmonic vibration that'll heal yourself and everything around you. I would like these nodes to form around and create interconnecting links and lines to others, as well as others that have already been in place and are trying to make similar concepts work. Other organizations or preserves or communes or whatever, communities around the world, whether they're out on natural land or even in cities, just coordinating the open minds that are trying to share to improve things. So the more we can link together, obviously the better and better it's going to get. But we need to start actually connecting people that are thinking this way, because a lot of people don't. It's time to show by action and example, model what we have always known is a better way to be, but we've never found an environment that would allow us to do it in that way. So let's create those environments and then, heal those environments and spread it outwards. So I'm thinking that there will be need for people to basically settle these new areas, and try and build the communities there, like the dwellings or structures or shelters or whatever, doing whatever we can to work with the natural setup that's already there, anything we can find, old furniture from houses or whatever, like repurpose things, find them a way to make them, fit with the environment we've got. If it's already been made, like, why not use it again? If it's, if we think we need it, maybe we can make it in a new way. Maybe we can use the resources that are at hand, or realize that you can change the design so that it works with the materials that you do have available. Just constantly shifting and changing, adapting to what is available, making do with what you can find, or finding ways to source it. But like sharing things. So part of this would be like the idea of a living art exhibition almost. So we'd be demonstrating all the various ways of expression we know. So people would come together, we'd share our writings, we'd share, our poetry, our music, we'd, share our visual artwork, like the paintings, the crafts, I don't know what else to call it, the things that you make, like the 3D, can't tangible. I don't know. Anyways, um, different ways that expresses and makes people feel things. People actually need to learn how to feel again. We've all been so disconnected from. We can't tell what's ours and what's elsewhere anymore. It's time to like find what's ours, so we can realize what we need to heal versus what we need to realize might be damaging out there and act accordingly. Finding ways, like learning how to integrate with ourselves so we can integrate with all others better. Because it needs to be integration with animals, plants, land, other people, ourselves. It needs to be everything. Most people don't know how. There turns out to be a lot of people like me that have always had this strange idea that this has always needed to work together, and it's just the way it is. We need to find a way to come together. We need to find these places where we can demonstrate all these concepts that we've always known or have learned or have imagined, dreamed about as we've gone through life. Time to get together and share from people across all corners of the world, from all ages, and all backgrounds, all cultures, all traditions. It doesn't matter. Everyone needs to come together. We were all spread apart and we all developed in our own ways, and that was necessary. And now it's time to come together and share everything we've learned. It is that keeping separate and isolated is once again generating all the pain and distress that everyone right now can experience during these current times with isolation in terms of quarantine around a pandemic that is and is not the problem. So I would like other people to come together with me that I know share these dreams. So there would be settlers, there would be seekers that would go out and try and find the people like us that are isolated in their own environments that need to be found and brought into these sanctuaries, because they have a knowledge that will help unlock everything else, and they need help because they're all under attack, whether they recognize it or not, whether the outside people recognize that they're attacking them or not. They need to be kept safe. We are the ones that become the most destructive if we get turned the wrong way. And a lot of us have already been lost, and a lot of us have already caused the destruction of others, and it needs to stop. So we can get together and stop that process of destruction there, and that will show the ways that gentleness and compassion and kindness and acceptance is the way through, and that needs to be internal and external on every level. So some people would go out and find the ones that need to come in, whether they do that as an actual physical travel or whether they connect through social media or however it goes. There will be, and a part of that is identifying that there's going to be students, and so students from all over the world will need to come to these places or find ways to connect. The physical proximity to other people on this same path and the environments we're going to create is going to be incredibly important. Like, the sooner the better. It's just, there's really no time to keep wasting anymore. There's every reason to speed this up right now. Along with that, there would be, I think, a class of like ambassadors that would travel to work with, individual countries, I guess, interface with their governments or something, and like local organizations and shelters and whatever is going on in place. And hopefully they would actually be recognized with ambassador status. We're not there to, cause, more destruction. We're actually there to try and calm everything down. It's not, even if it's disruptive from like a standpoint of it's against the local ideas, it's not to try and cause problems. It is like, yes, we are exactly trying to do things differently. Don't even really know what that's going to be yet. It's a work in progress, like all things should be, and we're going to try and demonstrate that. And within these communities, I would like them to have their own sovereign status. That so we can show how we can build a community that is not transactional. That we are going to, within the communities, not have a form of currency. That if we have, we will have, people that work with, the currencies of the world to interact and interface that way, and to keep our organization going from the outside, and to promote just advancements in all areas, and to be able to support the efforts of others throughout the world, because it is on the outside world, obviously it's currency based. I would like to demonstrate within the community how it can work within more like a barter system when needed. Otherwise, demonstrate how you can interact as a community to serve the needs of the community and outward. So if somebody there is able to craft a certain thing that you need, either you would help to find the materials to give to them to do it, or you would, while they're doing all that work on that, you would then help to provide for, their meals while they're, working, so that they don't have to do that. Bring, maybe help take care of their children while they're working, if they have any, support their partners if they have any, like, whatever, like, work in their, help in their home or something. Just, find ways to interact with people so it's reciprocal, it's mutual, it's an exchange. And that if, say, like, you're unwell and you need that done, then know that actually working on healing yourself while they're trying to make something for you that will help is the way that you're showing them that you value what they're doing, and that is the energetic exchange, and it will benefit outwards. So it's not about an upfront payment, it's not about an upfront exchange, it's knowing that you don't have to ask for payment for something that somebody does for you, because you know that they're constantly working outwardly to have a healthy exchange and build things up. There's no reason to necessarily need that. It's most of the things around resources, it goes around like trying to fulfill like basic needs, and we've been completely led down a wrong path of what is necessary for life. I would like to demonstrate within these all the different ways that we can prove that necessities for life are not what we've always thought, and that we can get incredibly creative about the way we fulfill those needs as it is, for ourselves, for each other, for all things around us. And then I would, there's, in my mind, there is also between the traveler, like the seeker, the ambassador, and the student, would be essentially kind of like caravans of traveling artists, creative people, healers. That they would be like maybe performance artists. They would probably be they would have some knowledge of plant medicines and different ritual practices or healing arts. They would be storytellers. They would be performers or acrobats. I suppose almost like a circus meets the Silk Road kind of thing. And as we travel from these different nodes, and finding people or communities that will open their lands and their homes to us as we come in and visit, bring them like news and everything from the outside world, show them all the things we can do, learn from them to see what they do already locally that kind of fits what we're bringing, and find the things that are new to us. Have an exchange as we go, and then the band that travels could individuals could stop off as we go, if they find a place that feels like home to them, even if it's just for a while, whatever. We travel on, maybe pick up new people from the area that we go, but just constantly moving around, meeting people, sharing stories, collecting stories, showing the wonders of the world while finding the wonders of the world. Making it so that the remote places don't feel so remote, and that the acceptance of new things is constantly remembered and encouraged. Show everyone that strangers are not necessarily the most dangerous, and that the people close to you are not necessarily the safest, but it's okay. we will find a way to make this work. So with that in mind, I would want it to also work with like biotechnology or things like that, finding more efficient ways and like less impact on the environment as far as like getting resources for like solar power. Uh, I don't want these different like quarries and different things still going to try and mine, these different elements from the earth in like such a destructive fashion. If we're going to be doing that, I want whole industries to change, and we can be creative about helping them find ways to transition into different ways to be, so that you know generally people can keep working if they want to, and like all this other stuff. But like try not to, like, we need change, but a lot of things are going to need incremental change because of just the nature of the way they got built up. But other things can change immediately, and why not address all of them? There's a lot of really creative, really innovative people around the world, and a lot of us have been in complete isolation. It's time for us to all get together and share these ideas. There's a ton of engineers and physicists and architects and all over the world that are also musicians, that are also artists, that are also humanitarians, that are also activists, that are also into animal rights or into advocating for the land. But so many of us are fractured into different areas that why not share them all? Why not integrate with each other? Some of us are more scientifically minded, some are more intuitive, some are a mesh of both, and we all have different expressions, and they're all amazing. And even the people that don't feel creative, it's mostly because they got beat out of them. They don't even recognize the ways that they're amazing. So finding just all the ways that life is amazing, sharing it with each other, building each other up, creating these networks, creating these nodes, creating the links, creating new energy from these nodes, linking to each other, like creating ley lines of love energy, like harmonizing things, just trying to create like the most beautiful symphony in existence, singing from this planet. I've made up a bunch of silly words like naturally nurturing nodes, primal preserves, restorative refuge, harmonic healing, synesthetic sanctuary, vital villages, collaborative camps, resonant residents. Just maybe within them, within all these, again, I want it in terms of art expression, and I want it in terms of ways that we can get creative about healing through art. With this, I feel like maybe possibly a guild system for the different subsets of artistic areas, and then within that, possibly within each guild type, a head of the guild would be nominated for each like location, and they would speak for the guild within like a group setting to discuss how the village is doing, I guess, as it's going forward, and how it would integrate with the outside world continually. But knowing that it's not an election for life, it's not a post for life, it's going to be constantly shifting because people shift. Maybe somebody then wants to become a traveler instead of a settler. So it would be also knowing that even the theoretical heads of guilds, the theoretical masters of these areas, are also still students. There is none above another. Maybe you're more advanced currently, but there is no ultimate authority that rests within a single person, ever. And it will never be a position for life. You can be recognized by the community as somebody worth always listening to, of course, but it will not be. There will not be positions of power. There will be positions that maybe speak for certain areas, but those will always be changing, and that will not be their primary function or their only function. Just trying to start off sharing this dream. It's been really almost impossible to get the confidence up to start. So this is just the beginning, though, and I hope some of you are out there that are sharing the same dream. Thank you.